Good evening. My name is Ray Devito, and I am a 13-year survivor of stage 4 metastatic melanoma. When I got diagnosed in September of 2000. I was in total denial at first. When the dermatologist told me I had cancer, I told her, "You gotta be kidding me." Now you gotta understand something. I was a lineman. I worked for Con Edison. I'm a lineman. I climb poles and I do all that stuff. I was strong as an ox. When she says that I had cancer, you think that I wasn't feeling good or I had symptoms, and I didn't. So I didn't believe her. She told me, "I want you back here the next day." I had a growth on my back. That's what it was. It was a growth about that big. And she told me, she saw it. She said, "You got cancer. I want you back here tomorrow." And I said, "I can't come back here tomorrow." I said, "I work emergency department. They ain't going to let me go. I want you back here tomorrow," she said. So I came back. I went back the next day, and they did a biopsy. And they called me a couple of days later to come in because she's got bad news for me. She told me I had to go to NYU Medical Center and report to Dr. Richard Shapiro. What happened was the melanoma had spread to my lymph nodes. He told me I had a 50-50 chance of survival, which I didn't believe him. You got to understand, I'm a combat Marine. I was wounded twice in Vietnam. I survived those wounds, and I couldn't believe that nothing could happen to me. That's how I thought. Now this was going to take me down. I was going to go down another tough road. I didn't cope very well, especially when I started the interferon from Dr. Anna Pavlik. I had to take the interferon for a year. Now, interferon, the first month of treatment is from Monday through Friday. You had to take it through a port to intravenous. I had to come to NYU. At that time, the cancer center was here right here in NYU. It wasn't up there on 34th Street. So I was in there, and so every day, Monday through Friday, I came in. I come from Staten Island, from this ferry by train to here, with my wife in tow, and take the interferon, which was a tough medicine. When I tell you tough medicine, the reaction that you would get high fevers, 105, 106, and it was really tough. And I was very angry at the thought that here I was, having this medicine, it's really poison, put into your system to take care of your body, to get rid of the cancer. So Dr. Pavlik, which I later known, I call her Dr. Anna now. I've been seeing her for 13 years now. We started out, she was young. She's still young. Younger than me, believe me. Probably one of the best oncologists around. Okay? When it was time for me to take my everyday medicine through a little needle, you had to put it in your stomach over here. It was like a diabetic. I had to put a needle in every day. Well, I never did that. What, are you kidding me? So one day I was telling her, her nurse's aide was Dr. Who was it? PJ. I said, "I can't do this, blah, blah, blah." We're talking soft, so Anna can't hear us in the next room. So I said, "Well, I'll just go home and I'll try it when I go home." All of a sudden, "You ain't going anywhere until you get to learn how to put that in your stomach." But this and that. So I think it took 2 hours before I finally did my own shot. But while I was doing it, though, there was a lady next to me she was taking medicine for breast cancer. And she was sitting there, take the medicine, and PJ told me, see that lady next to you? She's taking medicine. It's painful going into her. And this lady's just reading her paper in the nice lounges and everything like that. And she says, "Just put it in and don't worry about it." The lady told me that. And that's what I did. Imagine a lady like that telling me, unbelievable. And from that day on, I did it with no problem. But the side effects were brutal. Okay, so what happened was I went home and I got me being thick-headed, hard-headed, didn't follow Dr. Anna's instructions. Didn't have the right medicine at home, didn't have no Benadryl, didn't have no Advils like that she told me to get because my fevers were going to be high. But I always dealt with fevers. 103, took an aspirin and it went away and I went to work and all that. But this didn't happen. So my lovely wife next to me here, she chewed me out, went to the store that night and got me the Advils and the Benadryl, and the fever went down. She called up Anna and told Anna that I'm not following her instructions. Well, when I went to see Anna the next day, you thought I was her daughter or her son, the way she yelled and one of these here. I'm keeping you alive. You got to follow my instructions, she told me. And that's what she did. And that was 13 years ago. To this day, she's always been known to me as Anna. I have to tell you, I was okay for a year. I went back to work taking the medicine. I got to tell you something. The medicine that I was taking was brutal. It was. That interferon, it was sick. I lost a lot of weight. I slept all the time. And that wasn't me. I mean, I was a baseball player. I was a football player. I did all that stuff. All of a sudden, I was sick, taking this medicine. And but I did it. So finally, I just got up, and when it was time, I went back to work, still taking this medicine. And I found that going back to work took my mind off the problem that I had, and that was being sick, laying around, sleeping, getting up, and I also had a very bad attitude. I take it out on my wife. Because you know what? You're not the same person. All of a sudden you're sick. You're not playing baseball. You're not going to work. You're not going out. You're not doing this. You're just laying there and you're sick. So anyway, I found out that by me going back to work, taking this medicine, it took my mind off everything, and I forgot about it. I forgot that I forgot that I had cancer. And that's what I did. And I did. I went back to work for a year. I took the medicine for a whole year. And then finally the day came when I hadn't had to take it no more. Thank God for that. Whew. So anyway, what happened was, after the treatments and everything, I went back to work, no more of that. I went to Dr. Anna for a regular checkup. She comes in, and she got that look on her face. I said, uh-oh. She says to me, I had an x-ray, CAT scan and all that. She says to me, you see double? She goes, no. Puts her hand up. She does the neuro, search. I go, no, what's the matter? She shows me in the x-ray, right? There's a tumor up in my brain. And it holy mackerel, it was like walking into a brick wall. You gotta be kidding me, So she referred me to Dr. John Galfino here at NYU. I got to tell you, I had 3 surgeries on my brain. First one was a gamma knife. The gamma knife killed the tumor, but what it did was it hemorrhaged it, so I had to go in for surgery. He took the tumor out, and I didn't. There was no medicine. I had no medicine involved. Right? I didn't take no medicine after that. No medicine. Everything was good. I just had to go and just follow up and like that. Then tumor came back 3 months later in May. I had to go back in for surgery again. No, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. The gamma knife was in February. That's what it was. The tumor and all that. Then in May, I had to go back for surgery because the tumor was up there again. That was the second operation. Took the surgery out, took the tumor out. Everything was fine. For the next 3-4 months, everything was clear. But I went for a CAT scan, and in December of 2003, of that same year, tumor came back. I think it came over a quarter of an inch over where the original was. This was the part that my wife didn't tell me, that doctor told her I only had 2 years to live if this thing didn't work. That was in 2003. He told my wife the only thing he could do was put in a radiation patch over the tumor, and I would have less than 2 years if I was lucky, if I was lucky to live. When he opened me up, he saw something he could do while he was in there. He lifted the tumor up without cutting, with a little cotton ball. That's how he got the tumor out without cutting into my brain to get the tumor out. Imagine that. Then he wasn't even, my wife never told me when that I had 2 years to live. But I got to tell you something. I know I could tell you people about the way I operate. It's like I just move ahead. You know, I don't even think to this day that I ever had cancer. That's how I look at it. You know, and I tell that to a lot of my friends. Right? How you doing? It's fine. And how you feeling? Great. You know. And to this day, I'm still working. I want you to know that. I have 48 years at Con Edison. In January of this past year, it was my last visit to Garfino. He told me, right, this is it for me. I don't have to see you no more. And it was like saying, oh, man, you got to be kidding me. Like, you know, I thought maybe, I feel bad. It's like losing a family member, to tell you the truth, because his staff, him and his nurse, Jessica, they were the greatest things that ever, they worked me so well, you know, and like that. All right. That was if I don't see him no more. The only doctor I see now is Dr. Anna. But I will see him every year, though. We stop in, we'll give him his bottle of wine or whatever he earns, because he earned it every Christmas. He saved my life. I have to tell you that. He did save my life, you know, and I was in complete denial from the beginning. I thought that melanoma, nobody knew about melanoma. You got to understand something. I was 50 years in the sun. I was in Vietnam for a whole year. I was a combat Marine, so I never wore a shirt. Never wore, you know, all we wore was a flak jacket, and all your skin was exposed, and I was sunburned and like that, you know. And I did a lot of grass cutting with no shirts on. I mean, I remember when my skin would be burning, but there was no sunburn, just that it just got brown, got tan. You know, in those days, tan looked good. And that's what it was. So learned a lot about the melanoma, what it did. Thought skin cancer today, there wasn't enough information out there when I was out there. Now, to this day, like the last couple of years now, you see a lot of it. You know, you see it advertised in the TV now and all that stuff about melanoma, you know, sunscreen. Me and my wife went to Las Vegas after I had all that surgery and everything. When I was in Las Vegas, I put the sunscreen on, waterproof. I was in the pool for like 2 to 3 hours with the sunscreen on and did not get burnt. So the sunscreen does work, and a shirt. I wear a shirt now. I don't go in the water without a shirt on, nothing like that. I just got to say that the doctor, what kept me else going too was beside my wife, was my son. I got 2 great daughters, Kim and Michelle. I have a great mother-in-law who told me, you're a Marine, you could beat this. I'll never forget those words she told me. You could beat this, she said. You're a Marine, you can do this. And I did. And I got 4 great grandkids, Nicholas, Ava, little Marcello, and little Emily. And they when I see them, they're the light of my eyes. I love them very much. And that's another reason why I'm going to keep going. If I went to the doctor and Anna says to me, oh, something came back, I'm just going to say, yeah, well, let's fix it. Just like what's the name said. We just fix it. We just keep on going. Because in your mind, you can't stay around and think about that you got cancer. You got to go about your business. Go back to work. Ride your bike. Walk. Even if you haven't. If you're on medicine and makes you sick, go out and do something to get your mind off that sickness. A lot of it is psychological. And this is a great hospital. Excellent hospital. I come here now for my skin tests and everything. I come here. I come over from Staten Island. I come here. I don't go no place else. And thank you. Okay, man.